Welcome to Chapter 3, Section 1, Graphing and Writing Inequalities. Our objective is to identify solutions of inequalities with one variable. Write and graph inequalities with one variable is our second objective. We have two vocabulary words. The first one is inequality. That is a statement that two quantities are not equal. The quantities are compared by using the following signs. We have four possibilities, actually five. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to. The solution of an inequality, your second vocabulary, is any value that makes the inequality true. This is what you should put in your Get Organized. Here's an example of an inequality, and here's the graph. Here's another example of inequality, and here's the graph. This graph is incorrect. This should be a solid line right here. So we're going to make this a solid line. And the reason this is solid, as you'll see, is because of this equal sign underneath here. Example 1. Write this in your notebook. Describe the solution in words. Well, we give you an example here, and you can see with the chart, we're going to put a variety of numbers in for x, and we're going to see at what point that this statement is true, is a solution. When negative 3 is in, it is not a solution. Like same with 0 and 9 9/10. But at 10, 10 minus 6 is 4, and 4 is greater than or equal to 4. So when a value of x is a number less than 10, the value of x minus 10 is less than 4. This is what you need to write in your notebook. You also want to write when the value of x is 10, the value of x minus 6 is equal to 4. And you want to write when the value of x is a number greater than 10, the value of x minus 6 is greater than 4. That's what you need to write in your notebook for example 1. So it appears that the solutions of x minus 6 greater than or equal to 4 are all real numbers greater than or equal to 10. So an inequality like 3 plus x is less than 6 has too many solutions to list. You can use a graph on the number line to show all these solutions. Okay? The solutions are shaded, and the arrow shows that the solution continues past those shown on the graph, because the solutions are actually infinite. And since there's no way to write them all down, we need to graph it to show the possibilities. To show that the endpoint is a solution, this right here is the endpoint, draw a solid circle at the number. To show the endpoint is not a solution, draw an empty circle. Well, what's going to make the difference is this right here. If this is less than or greater than, if this is less than or greater than without an equal sign, it's going to be an open or empty circle. If this has an equal sign, it'll be a solid circle. So when graphing inequalities, here's your words, all real numbers less than 5. Notice this does not have an equal sign in it, it's just a straight less than. So it's an empty circle. And we're shading all the numbers that are less than 5. Here, x is greater than negative 1. It's an open or empty circle because there's no equal sign there. And we're shading all the numbers greater than 1. X is less than or equal to 1/2. Since it's equal to, that's a possibility, we're going to have a closed circle or a filled circle. If x is greater than or equal to 0, you're going to have a closed circle. And goes to the right. Let's look at an example. Write example 2a down. We're doing m is greater than or equal to 3/4. And we're going to graph this equality. Because there's an equal sign, we're going to use a solid circle at 3/4. So at 3/4, we're going to draw a solid circle right there. Now m is the numbers larger than 3/4 or equal to 3/4. This represents equal to 3/4, and the numbers larger are shaded on this side of the graph. Let's look at b. Our first step for b is to simplify. So we do what's in parentheses first. 3, negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Then we multiply. Now, there is no equal sign here, so it'll be an open circle. There's our open circle, and t is less than 10. So we're going to shade all the numbers less than 10. Let's look at example 3. In this case, I want you to write the inequality shown by each graph. As you notice, we're going to pick any variable we wish, probably x, and the arrow points to the left. So we're going to use either less than or less than or equal to. Because this is an empty circle or an open circle, at the 2, we will not be using this one. We will be using less than. So x is less than 2, but not equal to. On this graph, the arrow points to the right, so we're going to use either greater than or equal to. We have a solid circle at negative 0.5, so we're going to put a greater than or equal to there because that represents a solid circle. And x is greater than or equal to negative 5/10. Okay, hint here. Less than or equal to also means no more than. You want to write this down in your notebook so you have this in your notes. At least can also mean greater than or equal to. Let's do one last example. Ray's dad told him not to turn on the air conditioner unless the temperature is at least 85 degrees. Now remember, at least means greater than or equal to. So we're going to take our variable, T for temperature, and we're going to turn on the AC when the temperature T is at least, or greater than, 85 degrees. So here's our formula. So when we graph, we're going to draw a solid circle at 85 degrees because it can be equal it. Then we'll look at all the numbers larger than it and draw shading there. That's it for tonight's notebook. I know a lot of this was review, and I will see you in class tomorrow.